Hi, this is Clauthia Ray, and welcome to the Quiet Room. I'm jumping on this morning because I think I had one of the greatest victories of my life this morning. And I go back and forth on this channel about how transparent to be because life is life, right? Life is real, but you want to be transparent, but you want to respect. I'm very serious about the sanctuary of my marriage and my life and my family. Those things I've taken very seriously. You don't get to 30 years without taking some things very seriously. So I want to talk about this and be open with you because I think it matters. But I am also guarded, right? Biblically, guard your heart. So today my husband and I, there's a few things about me, like knowing my triggers and my cortisol spikes and different things. I know what triggers me, and I'm learning even more what triggers me, and I'm paying attention. Literally, guys, the other day I paid attention to something frustrated me, and I just felt an insane rush of fire in my shoulders. And I've told you that I carry the weight in my upper body, so I'm literally trying to pay attention to all those triggers, all those moments in real time, so that I can de-escalate how I feel, process. And I want to say that, guys, this is not since I started the Zepbound shot, right? The Zepbound is part of the journey. The Zepbound is what I'm using as a tool to add to all the other things I do. But my husband and I woke up, and we didn't have a disagreement or an argument. It's just the way he said something, or his tone and what he said it. And he said it as soon as we woke up. And I typically, in 30 years, if he had said that to me or talked to me in that kind of way, and again, it's not major, so that's part of it. He just was like, "Hey, take the Netflix account out of the account. Let's put it into a not and let's put the Netflix account into an account that doesn't pool money. Let's put it into an account that we feed, like our prepaid accounts. Really, it's our Cash App accounts, not Cash App, Apple Cash accounts that we feed." And I was like, "That's smart." But here's the strength. Here's the crazy piece for me that I'm talking to you guys about is that I don't like talking about money when I first wake up. You know how like some people have all kind of rules. Mine is my husband and I both have triggers about money in different ways. He grew up in a impoverished community, so his trigger is that way. I grew up with money, but not being taken care of mentally and emotionally and spiritually and physically. So that's my trigger. So we trigger about money differently. And so in this 30-year marriage, you're dealing with people who come from different walks and backgrounds. So saying that to me first thing in the morning triggers me. I don't want to talk about bills first thing in the morning. And for a long time, I didn't even understand that that's how bad that was hitting me. But since I've been on this journey, I've told him. So when he did that, the first thing I felt, typically would feel, is an overwhelming surge of frustration for lack of respect. And I'd be counting down, right, 30 years and all of that. It would go on and on and on. And really, it was just a question. It was just a suggestion. But how I processed it and how I handled it is the dance that we do, right? It's the thing that me and my husband do. We have our own identity, our own souls, our own goals. And so here's why I'm so excited, because today, and I really feel like for the first time in my life, and I don't know, and I've been searching my soul today to figure out what is this, because I don't want to get on here and be like, "Oh, Zepbound did this." I really want to know, right? Is this the work I've been doing? I read the New Testament Bible, working on the Old Testament Bible. Is this my own growth? Is this me going to therapy? Is this really the sugar being quiet so that I feel this way? Like, what is it is the real question. Why I started this journey of trying to be a better person, right? That's what I told you guys, and I want to share that with you. So my testimony, or my standing on joy this morning, is that when he said that, guys, absolute silence. Nothing in my shoulders, nothing in my neck, nothing anywhere, no bells or alarms going off. All that processed was, "That's a good idea, let me do it." And I know that seems so little, but it was such a big idea. It was such a big moment for me. And I'm gonna give you guys a background from when me and my husband first met, is to tell you how triggering I am on certain issues. When we first met 30 years ago, my husband wanted to go to law school. He was in undergrad, and he wanted to go to law school, and I thought that was great. And I coached him up and encouraged him. And then when he was like, "I want to go to law school so I can provide for my home," y'all, that's not supposed to send spikes and triggers. But the idea of a man taking care of me sent triggers through me like daggers. And I never could rest. I never could find rest in the idea of a man taking care of me. Now, again, that's my own childhood trauma, but that's kind of where we are. If that gives you an idea that I am still that child, I am still that human, that person who has walked through those doors, who's lived through that life, who's made the choices where I didn't want that. I didn't want a man taking care of me. I wanted to be married and have a husband, but I didn't want him to take care of me. Hence me always making sure I'm taking care of myself. And so I say that to bring the backdrop of this started a long time ago, and I hadn't figured out like how to calm it down. And then we've done things. We've gone to therapy. We've done a lot on both of our ends. We're very hardworking, very dedicated. So for it to be this morning that he did all the wrong things, in a sense that he woke me up talking about finances, you don't do that, and he asked me to do something. It's also like an order or a bark, and it wasn't. It wasn't. It's just that's how my brain framed it, right? So asking of me something first thing in the morning too. And I guess, they say teachers have so many decisions, right? We make so many decisions for people. And me having 6 kids, you make so many decisions for people. You make so many decisions for your students. Me being a principal, me being me being a retreat leader and a founder. You make so many decisions in a day that the first thing someone does is can't ask me to do something, if that makes sense. But again, I just sat with that and I rested on that. And I know this is not like a huge victory, and you guys will probably think I'm crazy, and I probably am, y'all, but it really mattered to me that my energy level did not move, that I could just be present in that moment, provide what he needed, give him some closure, and then double down on that, tell him what I needed in respect back. Because he knows what I need, right? I know what he needs, but then we could just have a conversation about how we were meeting each other's needs and not. And for those of you who've been married or are in your marriages and are struggling with, maybe I'm the only couple struggling with regular old basic conversations, but it's a real deal. And it matters, right? And it's the love of your life. It's your goal, it's your passion. And sometimes it's so funny because we are fighting tooth and nail against the love of our life, against our passion. And I know I'm not alone in this, because that's what you hear thousands of sermons, you hear thousands of reels about the struggles of marriage. What is this in my hair? You hear thousands of struggles, you know what I mean? So I know I'm not alone in that. But I just wanted to get on here and share. Again, guys, I don't know if that's Zepbound. I don't know if that's therapy. I don't know if it's the sugar being not in me, not allowing me to spike. I don't know if it's just God telling me this is where I am. So I am not professing to you guys it's one or the other. I do believe it is a combination of all of them, and all of them I am very grateful and thankful for. You'll see me say all the time, every layer I have, I'm so thankful for, because it brought me here. And today I feel strong, not in muscles, y'all. Not like my body is losing weight muscles. Got the muscles popping, the 6-pack. But I feel brain, emotionally, spiritually 6-packed, if that makes sense. And I just can't express how good that felt to own a conversation and have the conversation and not be triggered, and to just be able to have it. Just something simple. So I feel really good this morning, and I just wanted to jump on and share that with you guys, because I don't know where you are in your journey, in this Zepbound journey. Maybe you're watching not even on your Zepbound journey. Maybe you're just watching as a husband and wife, or just a woman in general who's just watching a woman transition and change her life. And so I thank you so much for being part of the Quiet Room. And this is Clauthia Ray. Thank you for watching. Bye. I'll see you in the next one.